Hello everyone, and welcome to your Wednesday Wisdom Tarot. Usually I do tarot on a Tuesday, but the last couple of weeks it's been sort of shuffled into the Wednesday slot. So I was out earlier and I'm back, and I thought, you know what, I'm just going to pull some cards for you to see if it can help you for the week ahead. I'm just going to light some sage, which I have here in my bowl. So we've got a lot of fires going on at the moment, so if you're ever lighting anything, put it in a bowl for safety. Health and safety is important, but we can see how just a little bit of flame creates wonderful smoke. So we'll just use that to clear ourselves and to clear our space and send sage blessings to you. I'll just let that waft now. I was just going to open up space to read tarot. And I have some other cards here by my side, which will give us a little bit of additional information. So whatever's going on for you right now, you might want to look back on last week's reading to see if that kind of actually makes more sense today. Sometimes we don't have the full story till a little bit later, and then you go back onto it and you go, I know what that was meaning now, because maybe something has transpired. And then that allows for a little bit more of that information to be carried forward, because it makes more sense, it's more concrete. So I'm going to give you a read today in the hopes that it makes some sense as to where you are, what's happening. Maybe you're able to take a little bit of advice from something that I said. But it is all about what the cards want you to know, what the cards want to say. So here's my tarot deck for the YouTube read. I do a different tarot deck for personal readings, so I use the Rider-Waite traditional. And one day I'll design my own, but it's time is of the essence. So it's hard to find time to fit everything in. So I'm going to do this read for you. Hello to my usual subscribers, to my usual watchers. I hope this will bring yet another layer of information for you to help you this week and moving forward. And it's for me as well, you know, I'm learning something from this. It's guidance for me. It's not one specific story for one specific person. Sorry, just shuffling there. But it's lots of different points of view, or give me something. It's ways just to look at life, ways to see it. Maybe you're seeing it one way, and actually it would benefit you to see it a different way. So let's see what the cards want us to know. The sage, smoke. Okay, tarot. And my angel of tarot. Okay, can you work with us and bring us some information? Okay. And what we do is we read the cards, we read the meaning on the cards, but we read the cards as a story of all together, and then we'll use some clarifiers just to get more into the story. And I've brought in Mother Mary's deck, because there's a lot in her deck. The explanations, they go a long way. So whatever story is here, she will reinforce that and bring us even deeper into it. So, and hello to all my new watchers. It's always good to have you on board. And if you have any questions, or if you have a suggestion that you would like me to read on, a question or a topic, you can always leave that in the comments as well. I read all the comments and I do my best to answer them as well. So I'm going to go with, I might need one more, but I'll go with what I have at the moment. So usually I go to the back of the deck just to see what the energy is underlying. So what all of this read is built on. It's built on the Two of Pentacles. So the Two of Pentacles is juggling money, juggling work. Pentacles are often financial or work related. And you can see here he's kind of, throwing one up, catching the other, throwing it, just like a juggler would. So there's this sense of juggling money. There's this sense of paying out Peter and transferring from Paul. It's, paying off a credit card but still needing to spend some credit card money to get yourself something that you need. It's 2 jobs. You might have some work going on that you do, but you might be picking up a second job. You might be picking up a second income. There might be some way that you're dividing your time between 2 different jobs because you want to bring the money in. And there's a little bit of imbalance here, so you're not feeling very steady, because the situation is not stable yet. So that's why there's that juggling act going on. In the background here in the water, we can see ships. So certainly you're working on something. Certainly something has been created. So your goods, your rewards, your treasures are coming in on these ships, but they just haven't reached shore. So there's definitely stuff that you've manifested, that you've created, that's being birthed, that is here and is ready to land, but it just hasn't got to you just yet. So there is a need for you to, juggle a few things, balance a few things, maybe borrow a bit of money, pay back a bit of money, maybe have 2 income streams going at the one time. If you have 2 jobs that you're doing, it could be just juggling your hours, juggling your time, juggling your energy between the 2. But it is creating something, it is generating something, it is, the treasure is coming, but there is this little bit of a dance almost before you get there. And 2 is very much like partnership number as well. It's like, a couple, a 2. So there could be working with 2 businesses, collaborating with someone else. So 2 coming together for a collaboration. It might still be very much up in the air, so it's not found its firm foundations yet. It's still up in the air. The money is there waiting for you to grab it, but it's not realized. So it's huge potential here, huge potential. And so that may make you feel instability at the current time because you haven't quite got your hands on the money, because when one ball drops or one coin drops, the other one's going up. So you haven't managed to hold on to both of them just yet. So that's very interesting. Trying to think what that card is in the Rider-Waite, what it looks like. 2 of Pentacles. Let me just go get it. Okay, so this is the deck that I would use for your personal read. And it always has a huge big crystal in there to make sure it's cleansed. And I'm going to find the 2 of Pentacles, just because I want to remind myself of what it looks like. I should know, but sometimes it just escapes my memory as such. And I have a different kind of recollection when I see the Rider-Waite images. So that's interesting as well. Different cards give you different pieces of information. So this is the Rider-Waite 2 of Pentacles, and you can see again he's juggling, again he's got one foot up, so feeling unstable, but there is a link between these 2. There is the infinity sign is right in your face, so you can, to bring your ships forward, you can imagine them in front of you and sending out this infinity loop, wrapping around your treasures, your ships, whatever it is you want to create, and bringing that back round to you and then out again. So you're creating this figure of 8 between you and what you desire. So that's important here. But also what we're seeing is the waters and the waves. So this is a period of ups and downs. This is a period of stormy times, you might say, but for me it's more it's just not settled. It's not an easy time in particular. Your ships are certainly there again, so they're there, but there is this up and down motion. Same with this, it's like a seesaw motion. I wonder if it is something to do with water, something to do with being in the ocean, being on a ship, but it absolutely is this dynamic between giving, receiving, and the connection between two elements of finance, two elements of work, two elements of creating something real in this real world, and how you're in this period of juggling the energy. So that's interesting from that aspect. So I'm going to go to the cards now. So that's all about money in, money out, not enough money, instability financially, balancing and rebalancing, and just a period of kind of waiting till things settle. And then we have the Two of Swords, so this is the second two. So the two is important here. Again, it's that working with something, it's that balancing this energy, it's that figure of 8 where we balance both sides. We have to bring balance to our outgoings, bring balance to our incomings. We have to balance the books. And this is about balancing our mind. So Two of Swords, you can see here, she has two huge swords that are pointed up to the heavens, which would point to communication. Swords are all about the mind, the air quality, air signs like Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. So very much of the mind, very much motivated, very much mental capacity. Perhaps a little shut off from her emotions because she has a cross over her heart here. She's wearing a lot of blue. Blue's the throat chakra. So there could be an element of downloading information, communications, higher communications, and what you do with that. Now, we have the crescent moon here, and we've just had the eclipse where it wasn't a full eclipse, so it showed us sort of a little bit of a crescent sun that was left after the moon passed in front of it. So this could point to the timing right now. And there's a little butterfly here, so this points to a period of transforming something, transforming our ideas, our mindset, or conflicting ideas. Two of Swords can often be the path. It can be the crossroads on that path. So do I go to the left? Do I go to the right? And a way that you might find your answer is by going inside into your inner space, your introspection. By putting the blindfold on, you are getting rid of all kinds of distractions, and that helps you hear the communication much easier, the downloads much easier, and then you're able to make your decisions much easier. But this can often be that you're stuck in this quandary of, do I go left, do I go right? The water is choppy here, so it is saying to us that there is a level of distress. There are a lot of birds, there are a lot of air elements here. So again, it's about speech, it's about word, it's about thinking, it's about the psyche. So I'm just going to link it to the Two of Pentacles, which was about juggling. And while you're juggling, you may feel that you are stuck, that you are on this road where you don't know which way to go. Which pentacle do you go with? Which one is going to give you the better result? They're both next to water. They're both on the ground. She is seated in this throne, which is very solid, so she needs to be grounded to get the information, to make her decisions. She's got this choice, but she needs to be very grounded. And when the air energy comes in, you know, it can make you panic, it can make you overthink, it can make you over worry. There can be too much enlightenment coming in. But a seasoned healer or channeler or medium would know you've got to ground that energy. You've got to make this stable foundation for all of that communication to arrive in. We were talking in our channeling Zoom group last night, and it was a way to share some experiences or how, or to do channeling or how to know it's the right energy, etc. A moment. And one of the things is you've got to be very grounded to receive. You've got to be very grounded to connect to this higher energy, this spiritual energy that's coming in from the heavens. That's the direction you take. And what does that do? That gives you the Knight of Cups. So the Knight of Cups is moving forward. So you've made your choice, you've got on the horse, and you're moving forward. You've made a decision. You're also moving forward with a cup, which is a cup of love. So the Knight is often a suitor. It is often someone who steps forward in a romantic way. Can be kind of like a soulmate relationship, but it's somewhere, that you can expect romance, you can expect dates, you can expect somebody to come and offer you this cup of love, to want to come and meet you, to want to be around you, to move towards you. Again, we've got the water next to him, and we've got him on land. He's got fish all over him, so it's that Pisces energy, that loving, kind, intuitive, sensitive energy. So it is quite funny. We've got the Pentacles, which is the work. It's the earth energy. It is the practical, make it real on the planet. Finances, money, work. Then we have the mind, the intellect, the intelligence, the thought, the thinking, the speaking, the listening, as well as speaking, communication. A lot of it's listening. And it's listening to your intuition as well, because if you distract or blindfold yourself, you hear more from the inside to help you make that decision, which way to go. And then you've picked that, and now you're suddenly feeling the emotion of it. You're feeling this release, you're feeling this challenge, you're feeling this movement forward. You have a direction. And it's coming with a softness, with a wateriness, it might be that you go somewhere near water, that you end up somewhere near water. But you're coming with this loving cup. You're coming offering love, open to love. And love may be coming to meet you. And the white horse is often appears in visuals and visions and that type of thing. So it's a very high vibration. The white horse often is seen as the unicorn with the horn at the forehead. And he doesn't have that horn, but it's almost like he had the horn removed, because there is a little patch. Can you see a little patch here? So it's almost like he had that removed. So it brings in that there's a higher sensitivity coming. Once you make that decision and you move forward, it will be, what is it going to be? It is going to be much more in line with what makes you happy. And it's accepting the loving energy that suddenly starts to come your way. Because you have been manifesting this, you have been creating this, you've been working on this, and you have everything that you need to make this happen. So the magician has all in the toolbox. So we talked about the cup, we talked about the wand, we talked about the sword, and we also have the pentacle here. So all of the tools you have in your toolbox, you have generated and evolved and learned and become experienced in whatever it is that you do. And from that, now you're able to create, you're able to command the heavens to make real on the earth. It's that figure of 8, as above, so below. So we can command the heavens, we can ask the heavens, we can give the heavens directive to bring forward what we need. There is no point in being psychically aware or suddenly aware that you're a conscious being if you're not actually willing to work with those energies, to interpret what comes, to speak what you need, to ask for assistance, and to make it so. And so it is. And this will enable you, this magic energy of you suddenly feeling in command of everything. You suddenly feeling like, oh, so I've made my decision, I'm moving forward. I'm sensitive and emotional about this, but I feel it's heart-centered. I'm moving in the right direction. And I realize I've got so much to give. I realize I've got so many things that I can share, that I can teach with, that I can use to create the life I want. And you are moving through a new doorway. You are starting something new because you've created it. You have had these ideas up here, and now you're able to make it real. And so we can see him, he is very much dressed in white, which is the spiritual realm, with a red cloak, which is the earthly realm. As above, so below. So it's learning, not only learning about manifestation, but you must now understand that you have manifested some circumstance. You've created it. And now that you know you've done that, how can you do that for the rest of your life? How can you do that for the next thing and the next thing? And then we have the Emperor energy. The Emperor can be father figure, uncle, dad. It can be a sort of mentor. So there may be a mentor coming into your life. There may be some form of mentorship coming up for you. You might be becoming a mentor. This is often a fire sign. Mostly it would be Aries. It can be Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. So it could be stepping into that mentor role, stepping into that position, because the Emperor has lived a great life. The Emperor has tasted everything. He has a spiritual connection. He's dressed in purple, and his staff, is pointed up to the heavens. So he has this spiritual connection. He's quite evolved. He's lived. And he's dressed in red as well. So that's the earthly connection. And he's holding this, I can't remember what they're called, but this little globe on his, is it scepter? Don't know if that's what it's called. But he's holding that to represent the earthiness. So again, he is, as with the heavens, so on the earth. And using this fire energy, this mentor energy, this guide energy. The thing with the Emperor is, it's like if someone gives you advice, take it. If someone is prepared to offer you some of their wisdom, if someone is prepared to nurture you in a sense, to guide you, to be practical. He's very practical in this world. It's worth considering and worth maybe taking him up on some of his actions. So fire sign, very action orientated. So it is about maybe time for action, time to make it so, time to do it. You've made it happen, you've created it, and now it's time to actually realize it. So if there is something that you've been kind of wishing for, it could be a change in your life, a change in circumstances, this new door, this new dawn, this, you've been a bit topsy-turvy, you haven't been felt steady for a while, because should you stay, should you go now? There's this decision, do I go left, do I go right, is it yes, is it no? There's this dynamic, this two energy coming in again, this dynamic, push, pull. And then you do make a decision, and it's sensitive, it's an emotional thing for you. But you're coming forward and you're offering your full heart into this. You're saying, I'm completely into this, and I'm moving forward into this. And from that, you start to realize you're actually very competent in this. You have everything that you need. And if you look back, perhaps you have been doing this all along. You've been manifesting your life. So it's realizing that, and that you've used everything that you've accumulated over the years. And this could be for a craftsperson. This could be the tools that they use so that they can create what they want in their life. I've just seen this as well. All along here, can you see? You have figure of eights all along there. So again, it's that manifesting energy. Taking the bold action, taking the guidance, feeling guided. This could be connecting to an older person who is worldly wise, and has good advice. Or it could be that just there's a need to make it so now. Okay, that's interesting, considering what was the back of the deck? Oh, that was the back of the deck, wasn't it? So this instability, this juggling, I think is finally going to... Let's just see if we can get another card. Can we have one more card for this tarot? And then we'll go to Mother Mary. What do we need to know about this situation? Okay, one more card. Thank you. Oh, two again. 2, 2, 2. 2, 2, 2. Amazing. 2 of Cups. So you have moved forward with your heart open. You have stepped forward on that journey. You and the horse came along this path next to the river. And what happens is you meet someone. You meet someone and you offer your cup of love. Now he is taking her cup. So that's something to notice. He's offering his, but he's taking hers. And she's open to receiving his, but she's giving her cup to him. So there's a slight play on that, giving love, receiving love element. But again, we're overlooked by the lion with the wings here, so angelic. And we're in Leo season, so there's lion energy. But it's about romantic relationship. It's about the dynamic between the masculine and feminine. So we have the black snake and the white snake. So this dynamic of balancing, and it could be within yourself, the masculine and feminine energies, balancing those. Or it could be that through this, the action that you take is actually to step forward and commit to somebody, to step forward and be in love. Just enjoy that soulmate relationship. Enjoy the movies, enjoy walks on the beach, enjoy holding hands. It's about when you move forward in your life, when you take this motion, when you choose this path, then it's time to step up and step into coupledom. That's very interesting. And on the back now, because we shuffled them, we have the Eight of Swords, which is that period of feeling enclosed, imprisoned, overwhelmed, tied up in knots because of your thoughts. You have these desires and they're off in the distance, but then you put up all the blocks. So this is just saying, just watch for your mind and how it stops you. And something you may want to use is, if your mind is starting to run like crazy and talk you out of things, and so you want to take a step forward and it talks you out. It's often the ego saying, don't do that because, somebody might laugh at you, or someone might say something about you, or you'll fall over, or it won't work out. Stay safe, don't do it. It keeps you locked in, tied up. But what you want to do is trust that intuitive essence, that intuitive communication, swords, and claim your freedom like the bird here. Claim your freedom. Because you are free. You're free to choose. So I'm just going to go straight to Mother Mary cards now. My goodness. Getting so hot. Is Mother Mary coming in? Is that why I'm getting so hot? It's still hot in London. Hot and humid, Hence the hair is not the best hair. I could do with styling it properly, but I just wanted to come on and just get some cards out for you. And I always find it interesting to read them as well. So, Mother Mary, can we have a card, please, that helps us understand either what we've said already deeper, or gives us another angle on what we're trying to discover here. Okay, one has come out, so I'm just going to go with that one. And I have the book, so I might have to read the book. So, I don't know what it is yet. Let me show you first. Oh, it's upside down, sorry. It says Our Lady of Promise, and it's 8. She's beautiful green eyes and a beautiful heart just here. There's a basket with eggs. There is a little bit of script written at the bottom. There's beautiful, they're almost like forget-me-nots, but they're white all around her. The little basket with the egg, the script, the beautiful flowers, her green eyes, and the lovely heart here. And obviously roses as well. So let's go and see what Our Lady of Promise has to tell us. So let's see. I'll just put that there. I promise you new life. Whatever you release shall become sacred fertilizer for your new life. I promise that as you trust in me, I will guide you to the fulfillment of your heart's destiny. Do not shy away from what I ask of you. As you trust in me, I will lead you through fear and doubt, from fatigue and struggle, into boundless energy of compassion and passionate purpose. I promise you new life. Let me ignite the passionate fire of your sacred heart, so that you can burn with love and bright light to the world. So it says the path of the devotee to the Divine Mother Mary is not an easy one. We're asked step by step to surrender that which lies between us and the fulfillment of our heart. This is taking us deeper to this read. That might sound wonderful, as the fulfillment of the heart is a beautiful goal, yet we can be surprised at how much fear and doubt lie within us, at how many inner obstacles we have created through thought, beliefs that are not worthy or good enough, through our fear of failure or ridicule, through a knowing fear that if we allow ourselves to be so different to others, we will end up rejected, abandoned, and alone. And that's what I was saying about how the ego can stop you. You know, it wants to keep you safe, so it stops you. But in fact, you have to override that. You have to get to a point where you can override it. We might struggle to let go of what no longer serves us. Even in our hearts, we know it is time to let go. We may not be certain if we can bear the grief of letting go, or perhaps we are fearful of the uncertainty of life without what we have known by our side. And that's it. When we have to make that decision and step out, we are letting something go, because we've had this option before us. We've had two roads. We've had the crossroads. We've had the left or the right. But when we have chosen to move off to the right, then we're saying goodbye to the other option. So it's realizing there is a grief there too. Mother Mary knows us and knows how to help us. She invites us to receive her wisdom. She knows another way, knows that the fulfillment of the heart brings us into untold abundance, into rapture and divine connection, but also into great sadness and even righteous anger at times. She knows that these feelings, even if they appear on the surface to be negative or dark, can be essential fuel to keep us going when we need extra energy. There will be times when we need that energy so as not to give up in despair about the state of the world, and instead choose to stay true and committed to our personal growth. In this way, we can bring more of our light to the world and help others find their way to do the same. She does not assure us that a life of imbalanced light, where there is no feeling other than happiness. Let me read that again. She does not assure us a life of imbalanced light where there is no feeling other than happiness. She ensures a life of honesty, nakedness, authenticity, and the energy, power, and passion which is living in this way offers to us. She leads us into a life of making a positive contribution to the world in our own unique way, of being able to bear the passion and the pain of living as a divine human being and feeling empowered by it, inspired by it, and awestruck by life and its twists and turns. She promises us divine fulfillment. She promises us a life that leaves behind, big and small, and opens up a reality which will at first scramble the mind and then ignite the heart with the unquenchable divine fire. She promises us not what we think we want, but what she knows we truly want and need. She promises us that our trust in her will never be misplaced. At times when your life is pushing you beyond your limits, when you feel that you are breaking, your trust in her must come stronger. It will help you find her soothing presence like the light from a lighthouse cast across a dark thrashing ocean, caught up in a violent storm during the darkest night. So yes, there are those moments, but there is light there for you. Her promise to you is what makes the suffering of growth bearable, whilst you let go of that which no longer supports you, though you may love it dearly still. As you await the peaceful resolution of the heart and become ready, willing, and capable of stepping into the freedom of the new life cycle that awaits you, her light is there. Her promise. This oracle reminds you that no matter what is happening in your life right now, her promise of a new life is what is really happening, and everything else is just a symptom of that. Have faith, trust her, and believe. You can say, I am being born anew. New life is awakening within me. I am letting go of the past, letting go of me. I am free to love and be loved, to be all I can be. Holy Mother Mary promises me new life and is guiding me to fulfillment of my heart's destiny. So in some sense, it's the same thing. She's saying there is new life, and yes, there may be a bit of grief, a bit of difficulty. It may feel a bit stormy while you're making this decision, but it is about trusting her and that all good things are coming. As soon as you begin to move forward, new life is here. Her promise, Our Lady of Promise, is the promise of that new life where you can become in sacred union and you can move forward in whatever brings you that joy and that heart-centered energy, whether it is business, whether it is relationship. She is promising you that. So, there is a drawing forward of you into your new life purpose. There is some sort of sorry, my jumper here looks a bit scraggy. There is a drawing forward of you, and they say as well sometimes, I've heard it before, where you're trying to move forward to your path. So what are you seeking? But then it's often said that what you are seeking is actually seeking you. So your destiny is coming for you. So you're going to have to not shy away from what's been asked of you. You have to move through the fear, move through the doubt, into that boundless energy and compassion, into manifesting what you want. Because it's the fire of that sacred heart. It's that action. You've got to go with it. And then you can bring light into the world. That's nice. I'm just going to do one little ask your guides, because they can be quite helpful. Do a little shuffle. So let me know if that resonates. Let me know if you think you're on a new path, if you've been sort of in a quandary, asking questions, do you go this way, do you go that way, or what is it that you are toying up? So there is this questioning, two sides, two paths. Is it yes, is it no? Should I stay or should I go? And if you know what song that is, leave it in the comments below. Two are coming out, so we'll just take those. So we have higher self, epiphany, and we also have healer guides, loss. So let's go epiphany. So it is about moving into that higher self, that dynamic, that higher energy. Because if you're evolving and moving forward in life into a new doorway, there's something opening up for you. It is the calling, it is the destiny calling, or what's seeking you. What you're seeking is actually seeking you, because it's not your own personal desire perhaps. It's a bigger one. There's a bigger force behind you. And that's what's wanting to move your soul in this direction, so your soul can learn what it needs to learn. Your soul can contribute what it needs to contribute. And it's 18, so 1 and 8 is 9. So there seems to be some sort of completion. You're coming around to completion. So it's like you're manifesting what it is you want after all your hard work in the real world, making it very real. You're completing that cycle. So you've probably been moving towards something for a while, but now it's coming to completion, and it's very much aha moments. It's very much the epiphany. It's clear now. It's clear. It's like when you make the decision, things fall into place. Suddenly the road opens up. Suddenly it becomes easy and you're just going with the flow. Sometimes you're not sure, and then you realize that you're just being pushed in the right direction. Often people on a spiritual journey will have that massively, because we'll just have made a decision and then suddenly all these pieces come into place and all these locks open, and then these new things come in. And it is sequential. It is this kind of, and it just brings you forward. So that's, the light bulb moment is, this part of my life is complete, and I can grieve it, but I have to leave it so I can move forward. So there is sadness in leaving. There is sadness in moving forward. There is, a difficulty. There is grief in everything, whether it's relationship, whether it's you lose a family member or a pet, lose a home, lose a job, whatever the loss is, lose a sense of self. Maybe you've decided to change things completely, and everything that you were, you're changing up, and you're going to become something different. There's a new door opening, and you're prepared to walk through it, and people won't recognize you. So there's a loss of your old self, because that's no longer relevant. There's a loss of your old life, maybe old friendships. There's losses along the way, absolutely. But you're not left empty because it's filled. The universe doesn't like an empty space, the vacuum, it fills it. So there are people coming in to fill it, and it's a 5, which is change. There is a period of change here for you. It seems very positive, but it is acknowledging it's not just going to be a walk in the park where, oh yeah, it's fine, we'll just move into this. You're going to be sensitive, you're going to have emotion about it, but you're prepared to take that step, take that commit to it. So we have inner power. Okay, we have the lion. We had the lion before above the 2 of Cups, didn't we? The lion in the jungle. So the lion in tarot is all about strength. You have inner strength, or as this card says, you have inner power. It says, give me the courage and the power to do what must be done. So not necessarily what I want to do, not necessarily what I like to do, not necessarily what's easy for me, but to do what must be done in order to move forward. And the lion is also about self-esteem, being courageous. So to step out onto this new path, you have to be courageous, to open this new door, to decide, one way or the other, I'm going this way, to decide to let everything go. There is great courage in that. So you are strong enough. This is just telling you you're strong enough. And it's okay, like I was saying, to ask the higher beings, ask them for support. So it says, give me the courage and the power to do what must be done. I've got 4 that have come out, so we'll just quickly go through these. Receiving. So it is time for you to get yours. Look, there's a beautiful butterfly in that sun. Transformation. And the bird, new flight. It says every day it becomes easier to receive the highest divine plan and to trust my inner guidance. That's it as well. You're learning how to receive. You're learning how to receive the life that you've spent a long time creating. You've spent a long time getting here, and you're learning to receive it because it's the higher plan. It wouldn't be with you if it wasn't. Your higher self is moving you in this direction, and you must be open to receive. Let this new life land with you. And then we have outrageous openness. So you must remain open to all aspects. Can't feel closed off. What did we see? We saw when we were closed off, we were stuck, we were unable to move. Our worries and thoughts overtook. And this is saying remain open. It says, dear love, open me to your will. Release me from my attachments. Surprise and delight me with your plan. You know what's needed, and I'm open to receive. Again, it's just reinforcing that trust in the bigger plan. Trust this is absolutely where your soul is going, where your soul needs to go. Butterflies all over that as well. So there's a big change, a big transformation, but remain open. Courage. You have the strength and courage. Let me be open to courageously take the steps that are shown. So, like I was saying, once you open that door, things start to fall into place like steps. So, be willing to take the steps as they come. Each time it might be a loss. With each step, there might be another loss. You might have an idea of how it's going to be, and you've designed it this way. But then as you step forward, gradually things may shift a little bit more. You must have the courage to take the steps that are shown. So there may be a little change along the way, but you'll be shown the right way to move. Beautiful. Divine flow. You are a channel for divine energy. It is flowing through you, and it wants to flow this way through your soul energy. It says eventually one sublime desire takes precedence over all others, to follow the Tao, the divine flow, at all costs. And that happens often in a spiritual journey, where one day a decision is made and you move forward in that direction, and that's just it. And you have to trust that you are being guided, that this decision has been made because it has felt right, and it feels like you're being drawn forward. It is the Tao, it is the divine flow, and above everything else, you are following the path. Beautiful. I hope that helps you if you are on an adventure. It looks like there's one starting for you, and this is just saying there's a big divine plan here. So congratulations. Move forward, make your decision, move forward, and you are absolutely doing the divine work now. Whatever it is you're doing, that's the energy that wants to be lived through you in this direction. Okay, hope you enjoyed. Leave a comment, give me a thumbs up. That would really, really help the channel. It's very small at the moment. It'd be great to grow it a little bit. If you enjoyed that reading, let me know. If you need private readings, let me know. But from me today, I wish you a great rest of week. And if that resonates, if you're on some new adventure, if you're feeling courageous, let me know below. Take care. Bye.